Happy Wednesday, beautiful people. Welcome to my Soul Corner. This is one of my favorite spaces in the household. A completely empty corner, really, with just my yoga mat rolled out, and this is the box of my bike luggage. Bike luggage box. I think that that is the term for it. Covered with my favorite blanket that I bought on the beach in Barcelona a couple of years ago. I have a special love with Barcelona, a very unique relationship. No wonder that's the that's the destination for my Ironman next year. Anyway, I felt that this was the right space for the topic of this video today. I got bitten by a dog on Saturday when I was out running. It's not. Yeah, it's quite bruised and dark, and it will take some time for the bruise to disappear, but the scar itself is healing very nicely. So I got away quite luckily. And the dog was on a leash, walked by a young boy. But somehow this incident really threw me off track. I felt traumatized in my soul, and my heart and my head was really messed up because I didn't see it coming. And when you're on a roll, and I've been feeling on a roll since I got back from home, settling in with work and really getting strong with the training, and it is quite overwhelming to have two such strong priorities on the top of the list. Obviously, settling into a management position, getting a team, or getting up to speed with the team is never an easy and quick process. And the training volume is increasing slowly but surely, so the hours required to put in there are becoming longer and longer as the days go. So a lot has been going on, but I felt that I was managing just fine. And then, you go out for a run and a dog looks at you thinking you're lunch. That really shocked me. And it put me in I don't like to admit it, I don't think anyone does, but this is why I felt that it was really important for me to record this video to spread the message that I was in a really dark place. I had a very tough time processing what happened. A lot of tears, and Sunday I just had to let myself completely fall apart. I didn't get out of bed. I was pretty much crying and watching Netflix all day. Feeling sad and angry and confused, and trying to understand why this happened now, what the message is behind this incident, because I truly believe everything that happens to us comes with a higher purpose. Whether we put the judgment of it being a good or a bad experience, it is an experience that we are supposed to grow from. And I know that this is one for me to grow from and learn from and become better of. But it was a tough process and a sour pill to swallow, so to speak, because since I started this training process, I haven't missed a training day, and now all of a sudden I was out for 2 days. It really is not the end of the world. It really is not the end of the world. But again, that was a tough conversation that I had to have with myself, that it was okay to miss a couple of days. It was okay not to feel okay. that it was okay to let people close to me know that I was struggling, that I felt so far from home. Actually, that was probably the most difficult feeling to process. That my life is great, and I do love my life here. It sounds cliche, but I'm kind of falling in love with my life more and more every day these days. But yeah, when shit happens and your family is so far away and your closest friends are so far away, you just feel pretty freaking lonely. And I'm really lucky because I have amazing people in my life here who do their best to be there as my support system. And I'm really grateful for that, but you just can't have this feeling when you live abroad, away from your own support network. So I just realized that you can never be too old to just want to be hugged. My mom and be kind of dead to come and get you to drive to the hospital, but obviously that wasn't an option. And it was a really difficult thing to admit to them, because I'm not a person who likes to worry other people. I like people to know me as the person that I like to know myself as. It's someone who's happy, bubbly, positive, energetic, someone who's there to uplift others wherever possible. And it's an ongoing struggle for me to allow myself to show that I also have bad days, to allow myself to be and feel fragile and weak and sad and not in a in a happy bubble. And the last few days were certainly one of those tough ones. But I feel like I'm coming out of it. I feel like as much as the message is not fully clear as to why this happened or had to happen right here, right now, I kind of know that sometimes you may need 3 weeks, sometimes you may need 6 months, and sometimes it is only 5 years later that you can put your finger onto a certain event in your life and say, right now I fully understand why that had to happen that way. So I'm not, I decided not to drive myself crazy with trying to hack the message. It will come in its due time, I believe. But the learning that I'm certainly taking away from it is that you're still lovable when you're not at your best. That the best thing you can do to practice self-love is to let people close to you know that you need some extra love and support, some extra attention, some extra care, because you're feeling vulnerable, you're feeling fragile, you're feeling just low, and it is okay. We all have those days, we all have those periods. And one thing that my the reason why I started my personal blog on Instagram, doing my boho soul account, is because I just have this really deep rooted fire and feeling in me that I want to break the habit that we only share the amazing things on social media, or we only post pictures and stories that show the world how perfect everything is in our lives. And I really aim to be a genuine voice, just bringing some honesty to the table and talking about things that a lot of people don't like to talk about or don't dare to talk about. It is scary shit to admit openly when you struggle, when when your light is not shining as bright as usual. But I think it's really important because we can only learn from each other. And I'm certainly not posting this video wanting people to feel sorry or to say sorry for what happened, because I'm fine. I took the time that I needed to process, and I'm fine. But more to, I felt almost as an obligation to speak up, because I really struggled to voice how unwell I was for a few days in my spirit and in my head. And if you don't say, how would people know? And I'm a person who loves to help, where when I know that someone needs a little soul cuddle, because that costs nothing and we can give it to each other anytime, anywhere, with pure intentions. So my message for today is look out for each other, be there for each other, just support one another unconditionally. Let yourself be whatever you need to be to process things. Let yourself grieve, let yourself feel sad, angry, disappointed, get it out your system. Give it the time that it needs, because that is the only way that scars can heal, that the bruise will disappear. And eventually it is all for a higher purpose. It is all for us to become a better person, to become more compassionate, more understanding, more grateful. I can't describe how grateful I felt for being able to run when I was back in my trainers on Tuesday, because I know that it could have been a lot worse. And nothing is guaranteed. The fact that I ever get to the start line, not even to talk about the finish line doing the race, is not guaranteed. The only guarantee I have is this moment, is this training day. Because who knows what happens tomorrow. So on that note, embrace the moment. Just stop for a second and really think about how much beauty there is, how lucky you are, how many things you have in your life to be amazingly grateful for. And ask yourself a question: are you paying enough attention to the things that bother you, challenge you, upset you? Are you trying to hack the message? Are you trying to learn from them? Are you trying to change them for the better, or you just try to shove the unpleasant things under the carpet, hoping that it will just go away? Because one thing I really experienced this weekend, that things don't just go away. This the fact that I got bitten by a dog in Ironman training will never disappear from my mind. But I truly believe that I will remember this as one of the learning curves that I had to go through, and I feel like I got some really valuable thoughts and realizations out of it. So that is my update on my hashtag Dream Big project. which this weekend it didn't feel as dreamy as I would have liked it to. But that's life. Shit happens. We just need to get on with it. We are in for the ride, and there are things that we can't control. The only thing, as they say, we can control is how we act on them, and act with an open heart. That is my advice. If you feel like you're struggling, speak up. Call a friend. If you have a close relationship with your family, being as lucky as I am, pick up the phone and let your siblings know, let your parents know. Ask for help, just ask for a listening ear. You will feel better. Don't keep things in yourself, because that will eventually just build, and suppression is never a good way forward. Famous last words. Right, I'm checking out. I hope you have a beautiful evening, and I promise, well, you can't really make promises, but I'm very hopeful that my next video will be a lot more cheerful, and me being back to my usual bubbly, happy, positive self. This is not a sad one, it is just a realistic one, voicing the fact that sometimes, it's okay not to be okay, and that's part of the journey. And it's all about the journey, not the destination. Right, enough of cliches. Have a good night, you beautiful people, and I will speak to you very soon. See you later, alligator. Bye.